If you're a local musician, you want a following from club to club to club where you can make $100,000 a year, you need to cultivate 1,000 true fans. Well, in business, it's the same thing. People really want to feel understood. And you do that by understanding your market. We call them tribes, followings.
We joking.
Whatever you want to call them.
But they're not cults.
Well, they kind of sort of are in a way. Apple versus PC. They're a tribe. It's true with almost everything that we do, we buy, we use, we build tribes. In order to build a tribe, you got to understand why tribes are so important. We naturally want to be in tribes. And if you were in a tribe, guess what you got to do?
How to start a cult with Perry Belcher.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Trainwreck Show. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Perry Belcher, along with Emma Rainville, the wizard of ops and proof that lions do truly eat their young. All right. Welcome back to the show.
They don't eat their young. Lions do not eat their young.
They should.
They don't.
But they should.
They don't.
If a lion had you, they might eat, or maybe feed you to another animal. That's what I would have done. Welcome back. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, Paw. I know that it's hard for you to remember things. I know that it's difficult for you to remember things, but we're going to talk about how to build a cult. I mean, how to get 1,000 true fans. You've done really well at this, in all seriousness, how to build true fans. Like the people who are for you.
Yeah, and the ones that aren't.
No, that's definitely true.
That's part of it, though, too.
Yeah, no.
You know?
But that's true. The people who are for you are for you. I know if something happened and I needed help getting you out of trouble, which generally I can get you out of whatever you get us into on my own, but I know at least pick up the shovel people, at least 10 of them that I could call right now.
Yeah.
At least 10 of them. Like, pick up the shovel loyal people. And there's probably a solid 100 that are that. So how do you get 1,000 people to want to not only continuously pay you to be in their presence, but also to be like really diehard, loyal, true fans backing you all the way?
Yeah, I'm glad to talk about that. By the way, there's a really good book you can find out there. It's an old book now, but it's called 1,000 True Fans. And it was actually written for musicians. And it was how a musician can make 6 figures a year if they can build a base of 1,000 true fans. So if you're a local musician, you have a local band or whatever, and you want a following from club to club to club, where you can make $100,000 a year, you won't maybe not get rich, but you make a living playing music. You need to cultivate 1,000 true fans. Well, in business, it's the same thing. And to really understand how to build tribes, you got to think about it as tribes, right? So if you look back, and we call them cults today, tribes, followings.
We joking.
Whatever you want to call them.
But they're not cults.
They kind of sort of are in a way. If you look at it like, I don't know when the last time somebody's been to a Suzuki rally. My guess is never.
I don't even know what that is.
A motorcycle, Suzuki or a Yamaha motorcycle rally or a Kawasaki
Those
motorcycle.
little crotch rockets.
It doesn't matter because they don't have rallies.
Right.
Harley, on the other hand,
has rallies.
Has Sturgis, where one of our people's going next week, where 100,000 people are going to go to this little town in the middle of nowhere.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
What are they going to do?
They're going to ride their motorcycles up and down the street and do all kinds of crazy shit and drink a lot of beer because they're in a tribe. They have their own uniforms.
Yeah, fair enough. They sure do.
They have their own uniforms. They have their own sayings. They have their own language. They have their own style.
There's something to be said for that.
Right? Apple versus PC. They're a tribe. If you've got an Apple computer and you're sitting on the coffee shop, you're in a different tribe than the guy that's sitting there with a Dell computer. He's a nerd and you're cool, right? It's true with almost everything that we do, we buy, we use, we build tribes. So in order to build a tribe, you got to understand why tribes are so important. We naturally want to be in tribes. Most people are in multiple tribes, right? Some people, we live in Texas, right? You know what's huge in Texas? Churches, right? Churches are tribes. The number one thing you have to be in a tribe, generally speaking, are common beliefs. You're going to have a set of common beliefs, a dogma, rules to live by, things like that. We tend to want to be in tribes of people who understand us. Not that we understand them, that understand us. The definition, if you ask most psychologists the definition of love, someone being in love with someone else, love is closest defined as someone whom you believe understands you, right? So why are tribes so important? Because we've only evolved about this much from cavemen and cavewomen, right? And back in the day, as they say, about 12,000 years ago, we've been on the earth in some form, best estimate is for 500 million years. Humans have been on Earth for 500 million years in some form. There were about 14 different forms of humans. There were 14 different species of cavemen. 13 of them have died off. We're the last ones. We're Homo sapiens. We're the last ones left. There's Cro-Magnon man and all these others. They all died off. But we've been around a long time. And as we've evolved, we started off with a little bitty brain at the base of our skull called the reptilian brain. We developed something called the limbic brain about 150 million years ago. All the way to the neocortex started developing in the brain about 12 million years ago. And about 12,000 years ago, we began building tribes. And tribes were built when we could communicate with one another. Before, humans didn't have the ability to communicate. We started drawing pictures on walls in caves and hieroglyphics and things like that. And we started building tribes. And if you were in a tribe, guess what you got to do? You got to do something really cool. Guess what it was? Live.
Right.
Because if you were outside the tribe, you died. Well, now fast forward, we're all safe. We're all generally safe. I heard Warren Buffett the other day said, we all, the poorest people in America, live better lives than John D. Rockefeller lived at the height of his success, which is pretty crazy.
Well, you've walked through like mansions from 100 years ago.
Right. You go to caves. I mean, you go to castles in England.
I can go to a Section 8 apartment.
Right.
And it's more comfortable than the richest person 100 years ago. Air
conditioning, electricity, transportation.
Toilets that flush.
Right. Indoor plumbing. Yeah.
Hot water.
So John Rockefeller went to an outhouse. Can you imagine? That's crazy, right? Or
I won't go in a porta potty.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So how do you build a tribe of people and get people to like you enough to stick around, right? So they want to feel understood, right? People really want to feel understood, and you do that by understanding your market. And sometimes this is one of the reasons when people are starting out, they don't know what business to get in. I always ask them, what do you know? What do you know? What are you used to? What vocabulary do you speak? What businesses do you know? What kind of people do you understand? Because I always use the same example. And Terry Weigel, a really great guy, he's a firefighter. And he's been in our business of selling training to start online businesses, e-com businesses, to guess who? Firefighters, because he was a firefighter. So is he the best trainer for e-com businesses in the world? Probably not. But he has a big following of people that they know he understands them.
Right. He's one of them.
Right. He's one of them. So when you've got women who want to start businesses, oftentimes they'll go to women gurus to learn because they feel like they have a camaraderie. Educators will go to educators. There's somebody right now, this lady is just murdering her market. She's a fitness coach, and fitness coaches, they're a dime a dozen. You can't sling a dead cat and not hit one. But guess what? She's a fitness coach that was a nurse. So now she fitness coaches nurses because she understands the strain on the nurse's body, the difficulty having regular schedule.
Yep.
So congruency, understanding.
Amanda Nigg, she's a fitness coach. Nothing, and I love her. I don't mean anything rude. Nothing particularly different about what she's doing, but lives on a farm. Mm-hmm. She goes after people in agriculture.
Yeah.
And she does phenomenally well.
And then, that takes you to the leader, right? People look to the leader for strength. Because if you're in the tribe back in the day, in the caveman days, you wanted a hunter that could go out and hunt, kill, and provide food, but you also wanted the 300 that could defend the camp. Right. So everybody wants a strong leader. And you can build a tribe without a strong leader, oddly enough. Some of the best tribes are built without a strong leader. The stronger the leader, the weaker the tribe in reality, right? Because people strive to be the leader and they don't get cohesive amongst one another. I watched Rick Warren from Saddleback Church do a talk once. It was amazing. And he talked about how the more docile boring ministers might not build the biggest churches, but they'll build the most cohesive churches because the members in the church become closer together because it's not all centered on the leader. It's centered.
You see that in different masterminds
horizontally,
too, right?
yeah.
Like we have you, Jason, and Qasim.
Right.
And you and Jason are incredibly like aggressive, strong. Qasim's also very much a strong leader, but you guys are very aggressive, strong. And then you have, I won't mention the names, but you have other masterminds where the person who heads it up isn't necessarily a strong personality, isn't necessarily aggressive. They're rather, I don't want to call them weak, but they're rather on the
I'll give you an
weaker side.
example, and I would name him because he wouldn't mind. Yannick Silver has been running Mavericks for 20 years, and before that ran another mastermind. I used to be in his mastermind. Yannick would let everybody talk, and he would sit in the back of the room, and most of the time when people were giving each other advice, telling their problems, Yannick would just say nothing.
Right.
And it wasn't that he didn't have an answer. Yannick's very smart.
He cultivated a room full of people that could give each other the answer. So
Exactly.
not only are your needs met with other
Right.
people feeding into you, but your needs are met because you're able to feed into other people, which makes you feel smart and important.
And it's a good mastermind because it wasn't singly dimensional, right?
Yep.
The reason I asked Qasim and Jason to come in and run Driven with me when we formed Driven, I was in business before with Ryan Dyson, Roland Frazier, and Richard Linder, and we did Warren. I thought that I had first planned on, well, I'm just going to go start my own mastermind. I think it would have been really flat. I think after one person leading a mastermind, if they are like a dynamic leader, then their ideas are the only ideas eventually. And pretty soon, guess what? We run out of ideas. I got a bag of tricks that I use. I've had for a long time. Qasim's got one. Jason's got one. People we bring in have different bags of tricks. Somebody asked me one time when I was asking about this, they said, do you read that magazine that's written by only one person? Do you read the newspaper that's written by only one person? The answer is no, because they'd be very...
There's no such thing.
They'd be very uninteresting because they need...
You need tons of
the fabric of different people, right? So, but that's a thing. And then lastly, once somebody's in a tribe, they want to be recognized and ascend within the tribe. So they want awards. They want rank. They want to grow in rank. One of the greatest organizations in the world, and it's based on the United States military, but one of the greatest organizations in the world, if you study them from the ground up, and I'm going to tell you, it's really weird, that there's another organization that's built basically on their footprint, and that's the Boy Scouts of America. Mm-hmm. It's a brilliant organization. You come in and get a membership, and as soon as you can hold up 3 fingers and say the pledge, you get a merit badge. You get your first award the very first meeting you ever go to. They teach you to say, "I'll do my best for God, my country." Da, da, da. You do that as soon as you can recite that, which is like 5 lines long, and take the Scout pledge. You get a merit badge, and you get a rank. You're now a tenderfoot, so that's your first rank. And then when you earn 5 more merit badges or whatever it is, I don't know the exact anymore. I was a Boy Scout up until the time I got to Life Scout right before Eagle, and then I discovered girls, and I never went back to Boy Scouts. But then when you get 4 or 5 more badges, then you ascend to the next rank.
Right.
And you get award rank. So we go to the Boy Scout meeting, we learn our lesson, we study our lesson, we take our test for our merit badge, and then we get a merit badge. And almost every meeting, there would be somebody just got their 5th badge or whatever, and they ascended in rank another rank. And there'd be an award for that.
It's super interesting that you use the Boy Scouts. I want to say it was Kevin Nation. I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Nation. It was when we were planning a bunch of things for Driven. I was like looking what other people said. And he had actually, I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Nations. He had said he had related it all to karate or jujitsu or like martial arts learning. He was saying when you have a community of people, you always want them striving to the next thing because the way out never crosses their mind.
Right.
It only makes them say, where am I? And it has to be where they earn something to be over others.
Right.
And so it was really interesting. I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Nations, but it was so interesting to me because it's true, right? Like you come in as a white belt, by the time you're like a brown belt, which isn't even at the top, you're now
Way ahead of the pack.
teaching the weight
Right.
to the yellow belts because
Right.
it gives you a sense of
Yep.
belonging and status, but also it's never like, when do I finish? It's when do I get to the next belt?
Right. And the craziness is the Boy Scouts of America was the model for L. Ron Hubbard to build Scientology on. So it's weird how all these things build
Right.
kind of sort of the same way.
Same way, yeah.
So karate's a great example. You earn.
I think the Boy Scouts was even like that one is
Well,
just,
the Boy Scouts of U.S. military
but it's-
builds the same way, right?
So the Boy Scouts did come from the military, Girl Scouts as well, but for different reasons during the Depression. Most martial arts, I know a lot more about Krav Maga than I do like jiu-jitsu or karate, but most martial arts, it's all military as well.
We interrupt this pod to bring you this really special announcement. You need to go right now. Well, maybe do they want to go right now? Want to stop?
No,
them
at
for
the
what?
end. We don't want to have them stop.
Go to trainwreckshow.com. There's lots of bots there, GPT bots that do things for you, that do a lot of your work. So you don't have to work so much and drink more beer. The episode archives are over there. There's all of our resources, worksheets, workbooks. Everything that we've done that we give away is over there. Go get it right now. There's a lot of resources there. Way more resources than you get when you buy a lot of communities, I think.
And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can catch every episode as soon as it hits. We'll send you a notification.
It doesn't mean you're liking Emma, by the way, because I know that slows us down on our likes. You can just click and say, I like Perry. You don't have to like Emma. It works the same way.
Most churches are military. A lot of people don't understand this. I didn't understand this until I had married my husband, and his family is like Assemblies of God. Mm-hmm. They all have ranks. And the pastors report to other pastors that have higher rank. And if you actually look at like the Catholics, bishops, right? If you take and you line them up, you take like the United States Army and you go from private to lance corporal and you go all the way up to 5-star general, you can almost mimic in martial arts, in the Boy Scouts, in most religions, the ranking from private to 5-star general.
What's missing between the Boy Scouts and karate?
Do tell.
Common good. There's no social mission.
I disagree.
In most martial arts things, it's like be a better person, be the stronger person, all that. But there's generally not
I only know Krav Maga.
a social mission.
I only know Krav Maga, and that has a social mission.
Does it really?
It absolutely
I didn't know
does.
that. Yeah.
Krav Maga is Israeli hand-to-hand combat. It's in defense of. It's your responsibility and duty as a civilian to make sure that yourself, your family, and other civilians like you are protected. It's very much a sense of duty and responsibility.
Like in the Boy Scouts, when you get to Eagle Scout and you want to apply for your Eagle Scout, you have to do a project that's of community good before you can graduate to Eagle Scout.
Right.
It's sort of like having a thesis for a PhD.
Right.
You have to have done something. You have to build a home for the homeless, or you have to do something.
There's a version of that
That's
in the
of community
military, and
good.
there's a version of that
Is
in
there?
martial arts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, think about it here. I don't think I'm saying this right, but even in like karate, I think it's called kudos. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm sure they'll come for me in the comments. But my two boys, we lived in Virginia for a while, and there was no Krav Maga anywhere, so we actually put them in karate for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so there was, I mean, the common good mission, the common mission, and even like all of that aligns very much. If you took it on paper and you just kind of made a spreadsheet, you could see the same ascension. It's the same thing. And all of it is indoctrination.
Well, there's also two bonuses if you can pull this off in your group.
Okay.
Rituals, dogma, right? What do you do that other people don't do? My grandfather was a Mason, and they have all these rituals, and
Freemason,
it's all secretive, right?
Yeah.
It's all it's a secret society with all
With
these
the
rituals.
33 degrees and
32nd degree. It's 32nd degree.
Okay.
Is there 33?
I thought there were 33,
It might
but
be.
you might know better than me.
Very similar, by the way, to the Ku Klux Klan.
Right.
Has almost exactly the same order, which is crazy.
And the Knights of Columbus.
Yeah, and then symbols. Symbols are a big deal. Churches have crosses. The Jews had the Stars of David. The Nazis had a swastika. MAGA has a red hat. You know, these symbols hold a great deal of power.
Right.
I mean, a great deal of power. If you've got,
if you're rolling your eyes, I just want to point this out for a minute. If you're rolling your eyes at the symbols having power, watch on planes with someone who has a red hat that may not even say "Make America Great Again." People won't want to sit with them.
Really?
Yeah. Watch the whole being of a human being crumble at the sight of a swastika.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Watch the attitude of someone who's talking shit, swearing, drinking, when they see a cross all of a sudden.
If you look at the back of somebody's car sometime and you see a sticker there that has a blue bar, a black bar, and a blue bar, you'll see these now if you haven't noticed them. You know what they are?
I have no idea. I've seen them. Me and Gabe were talking about it the other day. I have no idea what they are.
They're police officers. So they're police officers or police officers' families, so cops don't fuck with them.
I'm getting one.
Generally
tomorrow.
speaking.
I'm getting one tomorrow.
If you see one with a...
Can we print one at the print shop?
Sure. If you see a sticker that has a line going through it like this, a diagonal line, and the bottom half is red and the top half is white, guess what that is? Scuba. They're into scuba. People put those things... People love putting secretive things. Like I was with my son... we were in Las Vegas, and we just turned 21, and I was at the Wynn. I said, well, come on, I'll buy you your first beer. We're going to the Wynn bar. And we went to the
First beer. That's freaking hysterical.
Yeah, the first legal beer.
Yeah, the first legal beer.
We were at that VIP bar.
That wasn't even his first beer at a freaking casino.
We were at that VIP bar back at the back of the Wynn. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
And we sat down there, and a lot of celebrities come in and out of there. And I don't know if this guy was a celebrity or not, but all of a sudden, Sam gets up and goes to the end of the bar and starts talking to some dude that he doesn't know. And I'm like, he comes back. They're just having a big conversation. He comes back. I said, who was that? And he said, oh, that dude's a drummer. And I said, with whom? He said, oh, I don't know. I thought he was a famous drummer and he recognized him. But he had on a shirt that had like, it was like 1100110011 something, something, something. And that's called, in drumming, it's called a paradiddle.
Oh,
It's a rhythm. But he had on a shirt that no one would recognize.
Except for another drummer.
Right. You know where this is really big? Video gamer shirts.
Yeah.
Left, right, left, left, right, left, left. There'll be cheat codes, and they'll put them on T-shirts so that the only person who's going to notice that is another video gamer that plays that
video game. Right.
Yeah. So people want to be tribal. I said one of the only things Perry's ever said that was original to Perry, and I probably stole this and just don't remember it, was that people buy things that remind themselves and tell others who they are. People commonly buy things that remind themselves and tell others who they are because we want to sort and we want to be sorted. It's a thing in our brains. If I say, hey, we just had a baby, the first thing somebody asks is, was it a boy or a girl? You don't care. You're never going to see this kid. You might not even know me.
They're usually gross, too, as babies.
But you have to sort that information.
Right.
Your brain makes you sort information. And we do it instantaneously. Do you know when you see another human's face you've not seen before, you make 1,500 judgments within 7 seconds?
You've told me that before. And I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
You really do. And sometimes you'll just get an ick factor off that person that you can't explain. They haven't done anything to you. It's not a bad thing.
You and I have talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I don't like her, but I know I don't.
I know I don't like her. Yeah. Yeah. I remember, you remember Tombstone says, do I hate him? So you don't even know him. No.
But I hate him.
No, I hate him.
I didn't watch Tombstone. I have no idea what you're talking about. But you and I have personally had that conversation.
But it's true. You just sometimes you have an ick factor. It's your gut, right? And it can be that.
But I want to go back to, because I do think you're right. Like, even if you think about, like, vegans want to be known that they're vegans.
Oh, dude, let me tell you. Can I tell you a story?
Yes.
It's one of my favorite stories.
Going to anyway.
One of my favorite stories in the whole wide world.
I like that he pretended like I had an option.
I'm dying to find this picture because I had it in a presentation. I was at TNC the year we had the biggest TNC ever. We had like almost 8,000 people. And I took a break and I walked out to go eat lunch across the street so I could have a minute apiece with a couple friends. And I was doing a talk on this very subject. I was talking about tribal behaviors and how I was actually talking about selling T-shirts and swag. because this drives the entire t-shirt industry, right? And there is no right, there is no wrong. There's only people selling t-shirts. And I'm walking across where we're having Growth Hacking Live at the Manchester Hyatt, beautiful San Diego, September 22nd, by the way.
September 22nd through 24th. Tickets are still available.
Still
www.growthhackinglive.com
or growthhacking.com. Don't matter which one you choose, you go into this.
Yeah, it all reroutes the same shit.
Anyway, so I walk out of the back there, and down on the water behind there's this beautiful restaurant that sits down on the water.
It's September in San Diego is beautiful. I think I know which restaurant you're talking about too. They have the white umbrellas and the
exactly.
Beautiful.
So we walk
Looks
out,
like a boat.
Walk
place.
out back. Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful
so
place.
Walking out back, and they've got all these cars are parked back there, and there's one of these dually trucks. That have the 4 wheels on the back, the diesel, one of those. And it's pulled in and parked. And along the back window, I'm in the sign business, so I've made a lot of signs and cut vinyl letters. Vinyl letters are not inexpensive. I mean, it probably costs to put something all the way across the back window of a truck, maybe $100 they paid for vinyl letters. And on the back of this dually truck in vinyl letters is the word vegan. I laughed my ass off. It was so incongruent. It's somebody's driving this giant cowboy pickup truck with a big sticker in the back window that says vegan. It just shows how badly people want to be, because they were driving a truck that identifies them as a thing.
Right.
And they were, if you drive a pickup truck in Texas, you're identified a certain way. If you drive a great big pickup truck, you're identified another way. If you drive a cyber truck, you're just an asshole.
Just an asshole.
It's just an asshole. But if you're driving a Prius, you're driving that saying, I care about the environment, and I'm this and I'm that.
I'm a pretentious asshole. I probably have a bun and I probably smell bad.
If you're driving a Mercedes Benz, you want certain. If you're driving a Ferrari, you want a certain amount of
Depends
attention.
on what year Mercedes.
Yeah, it all depends. So you're the cars that we drive, the clothes that we wear, the general look that we have, the people that we associate with,
yes,
the mates that we have, everything is a social symbol. If you're carrying a certain handbag, if you're wearing if you're wearing a Rolex watch, you want people to. I was this smart ass punk. I used to have this amazingly beautiful pearl faced diamond encrusted Rolex that got lost not long ago, and I this guy that used to go to my country club I went in one day and I had on like shorts and a t-shirt and flip flops, and I still had that watch on, and he said, why'd you wear your watch? I guess because nobody else would, because if you didn't wear it, nobody else would know you're rich, right? That was a joke, but he's kind of right.
Yeah, you absolutely put the watch on so that people notice.
We symbolize, right? We do it all the time. Men do it, women do it, we all do it. So, and you know what? If you're wearing cargo shorts and a tie-dye t-shirt and flip-flops and dreadlocks, guess what? You're still socially signaling. In Austin, a lot of people in Austin be like, I don't go in for all that commercialization. I don't want all that. So I'm just going to let my beard grow out, my dreadlocks grow out, and I'm going to wear a flannel shirt everywhere I go. Well, you're building by being in a non-culture.
You're building a new culture.
You're building a culture. I love the fact that atheists associate. How fucking crazy is that?
You've seen the atheist stickers.
Yeah.
They sell them at REI, which is such a weird place to sell them, right? Isn't that such a weird place? They're right next to the coexist sticker.
Wow.
But anyway.
But it's
great.
crazy. If you try hard enough to be counterculture, you become a new culture.
So, all right. So you get 1,000 true fans.
Yeah. All you need.
Now, what do you do to keep them?
The point of this is.
I just wanted to go one more thing. What do you do to keep them? And then we got to wrap this up.
You stick to the dogma.
Okay.
You stick to the rules. And sometimes it's really hard. So Dan S. Kennedy, one of the greatest marketers ever, is one of my friends, and as close as a friend as you can be to Dan. Dan's a grumpy old bastard, but I love the guy. I've learned more from him than just about anybody. But he's violent about time management. Right? No email, no internet, right? None of that shit. If you want to book him for a day, you have to send him a fax. You can't call.
No.
Oh, 100%. And I went to his house. Still. I went to his house about 3 years ago or 4 years ago to do a day. And I said, okay, Dan, stop the horse shit. What's the Wi-Fi? And he said, I really don't have it. And I said, you really? Are you fucking kidding me? He said, yeah. I want it, but I can't have it now because my identity is so wrapped up in it.
Oh, shit.
Right? And it's true. If you want to see it on a very social level, look at MAGA and Trump, right? There are people right now that would probably rather not be associated with Donald Trump, right? Some that do, some don't. But some join
They would rather die on the hill than admit they were wrong.
100%.
I've actually seen a lot of
And the
people
truth
just
is right
be like,
with Kamala
oh,
Harris.
God.
Hey, same is true with Kamala Harris. People supported Kamala Harris. A lot of them now are going, God, what was I thinking?
Right.
Right?
But they would rather die on the hill
She's a horrible
than admit
candidate.
they were
Well,
wrong.
they'll never talk about it, right? So, and it's just true. Like either side of the aisle, politically, or people that once they jump the broom and become part of your tribe, they will stay in your tribe
just to not be wrong.
until such time as you abandon your tribe.
Yeah.
When you, as the leader, abandon the principles of the tribe will turn on you. Even if even if your pivot is a good pivot, it won't matter. You're abandoning the traditions of the tribe. Does that make sense?
It does. This is great. This
Yeah.
is a great one. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. Remember, head over to www.trainwreckshow.com. We got tons of freebies.
I got a
over
really
there.
good GPT over there. It's called my Primal Advisor GPT. And you can go in and ask it any question about your product, your service, whatever you do, and say, what caveman tribal behaviors am I triggering or should I trigger in order to
Brilliant.
attract people to this?
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. See you next time.
See you soon. Bye.